These days, having an accident or disability doesn't always have to mean you can no longer enjoy adventure. Far from it. This is the sport of river bugging. It was brought over to this country from New Zealand by this man, Dean Dunbar. But ironically, his love affair with extreme sports only started when he was told he was going blind.
I think in a certain way I can get more out of an extreme sport than some other people because, I mean, even crossing the road for me is quite an extreme sport. I get to the edge of the road, I'll listen, I don't bother looking because I can't trust my eyes anymore what I see. I've waited too many times for parked cars to go past. So now I stand, I listen, if it sounds clear then I go for it. So the heart starts pumping just crossing the road. If you can't see where you're going, it adds that extra buzz to it, so I'm very lucky that way. I've got a long stick, I've got a white stick, but I very rarely use it. As someone once said, I'm too vain for the cane.
My hat?
Nah, I'm alright, thanks, cheers. No worries.
Right now, Dean has a little blurred peripheral vision, which means he can still see some movement around him. He's been partially sighted since the age of 9, but it wasn't until he was 26 that the doctors said he would completely lose his sight. Faced with that news, he gave up his job, travelled the world and brought a new sport to the UK. But there are still not many river bugs around.
There's 50 that I know that are in action, but 25 have just been built. So we're up to 75, but 25 of them are still in the warehouses. So yeah, there's 50. We've got 20 odd of them. I think about 22 of them are in Scotland, and the rest are either in New Zealand or Australia. So Scotland is the only country in the Northern Hemisphere to have them. So that was my claim to fame when I brought them over. It was the first bugs in the Northern Hemisphere. When you're on board, you're actually in the water, your backside's wet. As soon as you go over a fall or something like that, you're right in it. So until you've actually sat in one of these, it's very hard to gauge it. People are used to sitting in kayaks or sitting in rafts, which are keeping their heads, 18 inches or more, 3 foot off the water. So therefore, they're used to being right above the water, looking down on it. With these things, you're right in. The river bugging is just a complete buzz. It's, for me, because the river's changing all the time, you come down later on in the year, the river will be slightly higher, there'll be less bumps. So for me, I can memorise some of the trips that I've done in the past, but every trip is different. So it is almost like a new sport each time because I'm hitting the same route, but a rock's now shown because the river's dropped or the river's high, so all of a sudden there's a bigger wave. It just every time is a different buzz, it's a different trip. It is like a drug. You get hooked on it and you can't stick with the same thing. You've got to just up the ante each time. So yes, the more dangerous, the more extreme it is, definitely the more exciting it is.